So we'll move at a pace that is fair to all of us. I don't want to overfeed you with so much knowledge. Passing your exams, this is the right approach. You need to learn the basics. You actually need to understand the course outline, not just the course demands. Your friends, why they fail these exams, the financial modeling courses, you will see when the assignments start. People want to come just to do assignments, which is very unfair to their intelligence, because even after they've done the assignment, when they go in the exam room, they will fail. They normally fail. Because the exam, the nature of the exam itself, it is time pressured. There's so much pressure that you go through. So if you lose out on the basics, you lose out on the content. So as long as you're consistent with this program that you have developed for you, as long as you respond to my assignments, you won't find any problems. You'll be the happiest. So we can now start. Just okay, and so go to assumptions. So I'm used to financial model. We'll go to shortcuts. So on shortcuts, there's what they call psychology of shortcuts. You know, when you get used to shortcuts, you increase your efficiency in keyboard. And considering the fact that your exam demands so much within a short period of time, you will need more shortcuts. I'll show you my favorite shortcuts, but before I show you my favorite shortcuts, I just want to show you the science behind these shortcuts. We'll do it in slow motion. I want you to hold the Alt key and H. At the same time, press Alt, then press H. Press Alt and press H and release like this. Is there anything that you are seeing on the tabs?
Yes, it has got some letters and numbers.
Yes. This is the science. What I want to show you is the science behind shortcuts. And Chizi, you need to be practicing these shortcuts every now and then. Just dedicate your time, even 3-4 hours, as we move on 3-4 hours in Excel. It looks like it's very long hours. It is not. When you start looking at the number of content, you'll get addicted, and that is actually going to improve your confidence. These shortcuts, we see it when consultants come to our companies, transaction advisors, financial modelers, and they have about these. They are so good at shortcuts. But you see, when you are using shortcuts, you are so fast that one will not see what you are actually doing. Now, check these numbers here. They are not just ordinary numbers. These are numbers that reflect what you should do on the keyboard. For example, you want to create borders. You see where there are borders, there is a B there. So press B. Just press B like this. So it shows you, if you want to come up with the bottom border, you have to press A. If you want to come up with the top border, you have to press B. But the more you do these things have the top and big bottom border, you press C. Let's press C. So you see what it has created. Hello? Have you managed?
Yes,
Coach.
we have. Oh, I have.
So now, the way, just observe how I'm going to do. This is the same thing that we have done. We have done it in slow motion, but because I'm a financial modeler, I've been practicing these things for years and what, or even for days, like for you, Tamara. When you do it, people will not see that you went to out, you went to H, you went to B, you went to C. It will be so fast that you just do like this. There it is. But in short, what I was doing, I went to out, I went to H, I went to B, I went to C. But then, from here, I would do it so fast that it would be very difficult for one to see. Go in B7. Are you in B7?
Yes.
So then do out H. You see where we want to go is on this, on the line, on the colors. If you want to look at the centering, A, L, A, C, A, R. You want to go to conditional formatting, you just press L. You want to go to format, just table, J, what, all these other, you get to know them as well. So you have to practice. So like here, we want to go to H. So on H, you just press H like that. Which color do I want to pick? I want to pick, for example, blue. Then I'll press. So without using the mouse, without using these are shortcuts. Are we there?
Coach, can you please just go back a little bit?
Okay. So let's go to out H. You see where you find the colors, it is here. There is letter what? The shortcut is letter H. So you press H. So when you press H, you have the down arrow keys. These keys, let me just border.
Yes.
I'm just saying reduce the size. Also. So what we did, you pressed out, you pressed H, then you also pressed H, which is highlighting. So here, come here, we'll say out H. So we'll go to H here, to press H. Then now you have the down arrow keys, or this is what I want to show. These down arrow keys. These arrow keys. So you hold this arrow key. You start clicking the arrow key so that it takes you to the color that you want to go to. This arrow. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Oh, that is the arrow key that you use. But don't go, you're welcome. So what you do here, you hold out key, press H, then go to H here, then go to arrow key, the one that goes to your right. So press this, go like that. It changes the colors that you want to pick. So for example, I want to pick here. We are actually going to go there. Camera, open it.
Yes.
But you know, the financial model, like they do this so fast that you will not see what they're doing. So, how do you get to know these shortcuts? Like I said, you just you don't need to master them. You just need to get to know them. Here, press the Alt key. Press the Alt key. Have you pressed the Alt key? The alternate key. Now, this alternate key, if you want to go to the file, for example, you press F. It will take you to the file. So if you want to go to the file, you press F. Just press F. It brings all these, meaning that if I want to open a new workbook, I'll press N. If I want to open a folder, I'll press O. If I want to save, I'll press S. If I want to save as, I'll press A. So for example, I want to open a new workbook. Press N to open a new workbook. Just manage. Just press N. So that thing of saying, no, I don't have a mouse, no, what, you can use shortcuts. So it will take me to a new workbook, whether I want a workbook with formulas or I want just a blank workbook. The blank workbook is L, with formulas is M1. I don't want to go to the formulas, I want to open a new workbook. So I'll press L like this. This is a shortcut. I'm not using a mouse, I'm just using a keyboard. Are we winning?
Yes.
So again, go back there.
Let's switch back.
Press Alt, the alternate key at Dongo. So you see, if I want to go to File, it will take me to File. If I want to go to Home, it will take me to Home, which is H. I'll press H. This is why if I want to go to File, I just do Alt F, it takes me to File. If I want to go to Home, I'll press Alt H, it takes me to Home. If I want to go to Insert, I'll press Alt N, it takes me there. Like in this case, because I've already pressed the N, the Alt, I can press N like that. So it brings me to all these things, the pivot table, the table itself, the graph, and all these other things. So it's entirely up to me to decide what I want to do. So I can escape and press Alt. If I want to go to page layout, let's go to page layout. Press Alt, then press P. Are you there?
Yes.
So here now, for example, you want to put back the grid lines. You know those grid lines, Malay in the picture. You press FG, just FG. Press V, not FG, press V and G. V and G, like this. So you have seen it has brought these lines, grid lines. I can press Alt, I go back there, I press P. So what I did, I went here where it's VG, where the grid lines. So I can uncheck and press VG. But sometimes we do it so fast that you will not see all those things that you're seeing in slow motion. whatever I want to be. Then improve on the speed, do it faster so that it doesn't, someone will not see all these things that you have been doing. Like I was showing you, if I'm put back grid lines, I'll hold out PVG. No one sees all those, but in short, what I'm doing in slow motion, I'm pressing the out, then I'm pressing the P, then I'm pressing the VG like that. Out, P, VG. This is in slow motion. So, let's go to, I must move on as you become a guru in this list. You get to learn more shortcuts. But let me just show you one of my favorite shortcuts that I use almost all the time that I'm working in Excel. It is called Control 1. If you don't want code Control 1, you can say Control /1. We are used to calling it Control 1. Where there's that exclamation mark, you know where there's one, there's an exclamation mark. So I'd rather say Control 1. So here now, what we'll do, just hold Control and 1 and release. It opens this. This is more of a combo box. It gives you almost all the things that you want. If I want to go to numbers, it takes me to numbers. So when I go that side, I press tab. It's just me going here. I'll do all the custom formatting. I'll do all the things which you will learn later on. Then I'll press tab. I can change all these numbers. I can go to alignment. Or there was an internet problem. So I said you press Control and 1 then release. So this is one shortcut you will be actually using. Going to alignment, font, border, fill, protection. You go to numbers there. My internet is not very stable. I hope it gets stable. So, Wilbrod, have you managed to initiate this function box using your Control 1?
I'm having challenges, coach. I've not yet received the invitation.
Which one? That one is for the app.
Yes, for the same app. So I'm having challenges working on the same worksheet here on your screen.
That app is just for other things like assignments. What? Are you using the internet? Are you using are you using the laptop?
I'm using a laptop. Yes.
Tamara, how are you managing? Because it's easier.
I'm just using a blank worksheet.
No, but you need this worksheet. You have this worksheet, isn't it? For the basic. You have it.
Yes, I do.
Because
Except
ideally
I will
what's
click on
supposed-
it here.
Ideally,
Sorry?
you're supposed to open your webbook. As I work,
Yes.
you are actually checking what I'm doing on the screen. You can have double screens. You'll be able to see what I'm doing on the screen, and you mirror what I'm doing on the screen. is everyone doing it? Tamara, you've been doing this since.
Okay. I'm now in the one I should have opened.
Sorry, coach, I lost network, so I was locked out.
Oh,
And I
okay.
didn't read this, yes.
Okay, so what I was actually saying is that there is a favorite shortcut that I use. The favorite shortcut is Control 1. So it opens all this. You can go to alignments, you can go to font, you can go to border, view, protection, and all that. Just give me about 3 minutes. Hello? So, this Control 1 shortcut, you'll be using it so often. Chinzi.
Yes, I'm here.
So, you will learn more shortcuts as we move on. More shortcuts as we move on, and that's the best way to learn shortcuts. So we go to another subtopic on sums and averages. So welcome now to formulas. So I'll introduce you to formulas. Check, see where my cursor is going. Here, this is the formula bar. So with this formula bar, for example, if I press FX, just press FX, this FX. So it will show you the most recently used functions that I've used. It will show you all these functions. So I can pick some function and press it. Just wanted to show you that if there is a formula bar, and if you want to activate what we call a function argument box, you press on FX there. So let's start. Summing, obviously, we know it's just basically adding. So the shortcut to sum is to press out and plus E. First, let's do the ordinary way of summing. Press equals sum of the bracket. Equals sum of the bracket. You add these. You highlight like that. You hold the shift key and the up key, the arrow that shows that is actually indicating that you should go up. Or if you want to get that control and show, hold shift key and press the down arrow key like this. Wilbrod,
Yes, coach.
are we there?
I'm following, yes.
Following won't be the right thing. Are you doing the same thing that I'm doing?
No, I'm having challenges working on my worksheet. So what I want to do is not when we are done, I'll go through the video then using your phone.
So you are failing. Why can't you open your workbook? Then you minimize my window so that you're just able to.
I've done that already, but still, when I click on my worksheet, your window is disappearing.
How is everybody managing? Tamara, what's up?
Understanding the problem. Not understanding this problem. What is failing to happen?
Oh, good. Answer. We want to do a detailed prognosis of what
Okay, like when I click on I've managed to cascade your window as well as my workbook. But when I click on my workbook, your window is disappearing.
Oh, you mean
When I try to,
you mean coach's
Yes,
video?
yeah,
Oh,
exactly, yes.
we're alternating
alternate.
videos.
you alternate.
So right now I'm on the beginner's Excel course. I can't see coach. So when I do what he says, then I go back to
Oh, okay. No,
yes, not that
okay.
we are doing it at the same time.
At the same time. Oh, okay, sorry.
Or alternatively, I'm using my phone for the Zoom, and then my Excel booklet workbook is just there so that I'm able to follow easily. If that can help also. Yeah.
Okay.
So here now, we are actually saying equals sum of the bracket. You start up there where it's D4, is it D4? Then you hold your shift. If you want, you can hold shift, control, and down arrow key. Takes you up to the last shift and down arrow key. These are shortcuts that takes you up to the last part where you have your text, where your text ends. Aye.
You said
You do it like this. You say equals sum, open bracket. Because imagine you have 1,000 rows of data. You can't continue to chart. No, shift. So you hold shift. Let me just type it somewhere here. You hold control, shift, you hold shift, control shift, and down arrow key. So we are here to say equals sum, open bracket. So you go to D4 where you are starting from. Hold control, shift, and down arrow key. Press fast. You press and you release. Tamara, have you managed?
yes, coach.
So I repeat,
Yes, coach.
you do like this. Equals sum. When you're on sum there, you press tab. As long as the sum has come, you press tab so that it opens the bracket. Then now go to D4, press there, hold control, then press enter. These shortcuts will help you, and you have to be practicing. Along?
A question: how are you? Because for me, I think I'm typing in the word sum after the equals. So how are you easily getting the sum?
No, it's check. You don't type the whole thing. When I type first equals, then I press sum, I press SU. Okay, then I press sum.
No.
So it comes, you have seen the blue thing. Once it is there, then I press tab. So once I press a tab, it brings in the bracket. Then now I can go to D4, control, shift, down arrow key. press enter. Okay, so that's the first method. The second method, just delete that. The second way in which you can do it, you will always need to find the quickest way. The second way you can do it is you say equals, type sum. Once you are able to see the blue thing that this is the function that you want to pick, you press tab, press tab, press tab for me. There's a tab key. You know where it is, huh?
Yes.
Just above the tabs next to Q. So you press tab. Then there's a shortcut of activating what we call the function argument box. The function argument box. So once the arrow key, the bracket has come, all you do, you now you want to open what you call function argument box. When you get into learn Excel, the best thing is to open the function argument box, because there you get to learn the instructions. It gives you what you want to get. You are able to read the instructions beforehand, and you are able to see the function arguments correctly. So once you have that tab key, you hold Control and A, Control and A. You hold Control and then press A. It opens what you call a function argument box. This is the same box. If I was to do say equals sum tab, I can go to FX here and press FX. Oh God, are we there? So once I open this function argument box, I can now pick the range. If I'm adding all this, you need to, if I'm adding this, just as an example, don't do that. If I'm adding all this, and I'll be able to do but obviously that is not what I'm trying to do. So I'll say equals sum tab, Control A, it opens that. Then I just pick this range up to there. Since you know how to pick the range, you just do Shift Control down arrow key. You pick this range and press OK. Have you managed? So then, third method is to use the shortcut to sum. Shortcut to sum, add, typed it here, which is out plus. So go in there. I hope your laptop is not Chinese. Try, you hold out and the plus key. See what is going to happen. Out. Where there's an equal sign there, out plus press enter. Out plus then press enter. Who has managed? Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Okay. Then
Coach, can you just repeat that?
Okay, let me just do that. So go in D10. So in D10, press the out and plus. Press the out and plus. Press out, then press out and release. Then press enter. Press enter. Have you managed now? So you do it so quick that no one sees what you're actually doing. Like this.
Giving me an error.
It's giving you an error.
Yes.
When you hold out and plus,
I've
what are you
managed.
clicking?
I've
What is showing?
managed.
You have managed?
No, I've managed.
Okay.
Yes.
So the tricky part about Excel is the dedication to practice. If you're able to practice this operation that you're doing, you will not have a problem. That it's important that you get to master these shortcuts before your exam time, so that you reduce on unnecessary time spending. We can also look at the averages. There is a function called average. I know in your exam, averages, I think you'll be looking at them on statistical issues. So much, but just to show you that there's a function called average. So we can say equals average. Control A, you open this so that you're able to see what you're doing. You can click, just click this whole range up there. And press open. So it averages all the numbers. In short, wherever you have text, like where you have Peter, few, reverse, and all that, it ignores that. It only picks where the numbers are, and it counts the cells where the numbers are. So meaning that it will be 50,000 plus 1,500 plus 4,000 divided by 3, because it has only identified 3 numbers in that range. Is it okay? So you press OK and it gives you 18,500. So just get to know that there is a function called average. Are we there?
Yes, coach.
Then now we go to counting. There are times when you need to count what is in the data set, in your data set. How many data sets do you have? But apparently the counting, the way it works, this function called count, it only counts numbers. So where there are no numbers, text or errors, it is actually going to ignore those variables. So if we start, go to B5. Go to B5. Type equals count. The moment the count comes, you can see it's in blue there, and that's what you want. So press tab and press Ctrl A so that you are able to open the function argument box. So it shows you that it counts the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. So where where the numbers is going to count, where there is text, it's going to ignore. So in this case, we can pick this for range from B2 to D3. So once we are done picking the range, we can press the enter key. What are you getting? And before you do that, if you have done it okay, it is always going to show you, when you open the function argument box, it's always going to give you a preview of the result, of the output that you are actually going to have. So it has given us a preview of that result. And in this case, the preview is what is the result. So you can press OK. So for example, where you have blanks there, if you are to type 6, it's going to show 3. If you are to type 4, it's going to show that. If I go on and type Tammy, it is actually going to show 3 because it is ignoring the text. This is so important when you are dealing in data analysis and manipulation. There will be instances where you have this data set which has in the same column there are numbers and text. There is no need for you to start thinking of how you are going to delete text. Ignore it. Do your count so that you get to know how many numbers are in this column. For example, if the numbers are 3 and the text has 10 rows, then you know that 7 of those rows contain text. This time, the way they are recruiting best talent, they are not looking at the CVs. You just don't know, especially Americans. They are not looking at the CVs. They are actually looking at a person who has the ability to manage tasks, to proficiently do what they want. So if you say, no, me I did financial modeling at ZCAS, it does not mean anything. They will give you 2,000, 4,000 rows of data. And if you find me as one of the interviewers, see what I'm problem. They will give you 50,000 rows of data and tell you, can you do some data analysis, manipulate this data? They're putting text, numbers, and everything that you do. So this is a more reason that you have to practice and practice and practice and become better. As long as you follow my program, you will be a guru. Tamara, you will be a guru. Any questions here? Can we go to something that would be where the problem starts from? Or the difficulties? Hello, is it okay? Dobra.
It's fine, sir.
But have you managed?
I've managed, yes.
Because where we are going, there are problems. Huh? So if you can't manage these basics, then we should not go there. Tamara.
Yes, coach.
Wakwanisa.
No, we'll catch up with time. Catch up.
This is the only time to catch up. Catching up with time. You go and do my research.
Some of us are slow learners.
Easy.
Yes, sir.
So now, here it was basically on counting. Just wanted to introduce you to, Excel has over 478 functions. You, as a financial modeler, you don't need to know all of them. The they say best financial model has no functions, not more than 2. And they use them efficiently so. Now we go to logicals. On logicals, this is where you get to appreciate the term if. If even in your normal conversation, when you use if, you're actually bringing in a logic. There are 3 things that it is actually the if function looks at. One is the logic. Secondly, it is the output if the logic is true. Which is or the result if the logic, maybe let's not say output, then you say result. Is the result if the logic is true. The third one is the result if the logic is false. If I become a true Christian, I'm assured a free ticket going to heaven. So if you don't, where do you go to? Tamara.
The other place.
Very good. So, each time you use the term if, you are bringing in 2 arguments. If this condition that you have created a logic is true, this is where I would be. Otherwise, I will go. If the ruling party focuses on the rule of law, I will vote for them. What does it mean if that condition is not met, Wobrod?
Come again?
If the ruling party focuses on the rule of law in 2021, I'll vote for them. What does that?
They don't focus on the rule of law. Won't vote for them.
You won't vote for them. But it does not mean that you're going to vote the opposition. This is why now you have to bring in what we call nested if function. What it means, you won't vote for them, is either you're actually, if you're going to vote, then you're actually not going to vote for them. You will vote for the opposition. But you might also decide not to go for the vote, isn't it?
Yes.
So these are the logics that you need to understand. If you are a son or a daughter to Bill Gates, you are a rich child. But if it turns out that now you are a son to Muyokera or daughter to Muyokera Tamara, then what does it mean? Understand? What does it mean? So, go to H3 13. Type equals if. Once it comes, tab and Control A. So these are the So these are the three arguments, the syntax arguments. There are three. There is the logic, there's a value is true, and the result is false.
Yes, what?
Are you getting the logic? Because now it's logic, so we're talking about logic. Are you getting the logic?
Yes, I am.
So this logic test, the first argument we brought, it only brings two responses or two possible outcomes. It's either it is true or false. When it is false, if here it gives you false, then just type false. Then here where your value is true, always anything that you have coded in Excel, you put inverted commas. You have seen those double marks. So type 7. Inverted comma. You always close with inverted comma. Anything that's right somewhere. Anything that you had coded in Excel, you put inverted comma. Inverted comma. I hope that is how they spell hell. Is it the way they spell hell? Mhm. Dan? Hello? Dan?
Done.
So press OK. So it shows here. So if you change where it's retyped false, meaning that that condition that you are trying to create is false. If you say whatever logic you came up with is true, type true and press enter, it will show you.
But why?
Yeah? Hello? Be closer to the mic. We can't get you, Chinzi. We can't get you.
Okay, I was saying, why has it brought hell? Is it because we type hell under the false option?
Under the false and under the, if you open the function argument box like this. Here, whatever we're saying that if the logic that we're trying to create is true, give us heaven. Otherwise, give us hell. So when you type to false, meaning that the logic was not met. So because the logic was not met, it took us directly to hell. Get it? So the moment the logic is met, it takes you to where? To the output, the result, if it is true. You get it?
Yes, yes.
And as we move on, there will be actually issues of nesting this function, the if function. I know today we'll not go to count if. We'll do the if. Under the if as well, we'll do the and. It's part of the logic. And the or. So go to A3. Go to A3. And this part, in most of your questions in your exam or even the assignments, it comes where they would want you to do something, then there's an issue of if. So you need to understand this concept. Because by next week, I think we'll start looking at some few components in your assignments. We'll start with what they started with the assignment 1. As you learn, we look at that. As you learn, you look at that. So, going A3. Tamara, now you have come back. Where did you go to?
Oh, I was here. It's just that you couldn't hear me.
Okay. So we go to A3. I've put already the formula that I want you to have. If A1, which is in A1, if it is greater than C1, type greater, otherwise give us less or equal. So, can you do this? I'll give you 2 minutes, then I'll help you to do it if you fail. But just this same formula here, now you can upside the formula. Just go in here, type equal if, press A1 greater than C1. If it is true, inverted comma, greater, inverted comma. Otherwise, inverted comma, less or equal. I'm giving you 2 minutes. But in giving you 2 minutes, I'll do this. I always want, you know, at the academy, we make things very practical. So, Tamara, you share your screen. We'll see. We will help you through the screen. Share your screen. Chins, are you the one who is using Galaxy A20?
No, it's not me. Mine is still there.
Let's do Rocco. Is it you, Tamara? Google.
It's me.
Oh, because we might have someone who wasn't paid to join us. So we need to do Morocco. So Tamara, go to
It's telling me host disabled participant. Screen sharing.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. You can share now. Tab, press tab, Control A.
I press it.
I've seen it. That's a shortcut, eh? Now go on our phone. So, here the logic is where we are actually saying. Okay, just press in there. There was some type. Typing it will take you time. Go in A1. Greater. You know where the greater sign is, eh? You know where there's M? After there's M, then after M there's less, then there's greater.
Oh, I've seen it.
Go in C1. Tab, so that takes you into value. So here now, what you're actually saying, you are saying if it is true, if that logic is true, what should be the answer? It should be greater. So type type greater, even if you don't put inverted commas, as long as you tab fancy that letter, type greater. Tab is actually 10 automatically. Then where fancy, that's why now you have to put inverted commas. Put inverted comma. Less or equal. Less or equal. Press OK. So now, for example, here we know that A1 is less than C1. This is why it's showing me less or equal. Suppose 8, where there's 8 there, type 4, for example. So it shows you where it is. Suppose where there's 9,
Yes.
type 15. So you understand how this thing is working. You understand the logic, the if function is basically on the logics. It's basically 3 things. And this is why even you people, when you are communicating and you have used the term if, this you are bringing logic.
Yes.
If what, this is what, that's what it means. So, and whenever you use the term if, it's bringing 3 things, bringing the logic. If the logic is true, what will be the result or the outcome? If not, what is the outcome? Look, are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So, we will use Tamara because that's what I'll be using. Sometimes I'll be, instead of me doing those things, so we'll use Tamara because that's the best way to learn. So Tamara, then now, let's bring in 2 things. Go in B9. You should also be doing what Tamara is doing. Go in B9, type
Type what?
and. Then type in B10, type enter and type. So these are parts of the logic. These are also functions. But you see, like I said, the first part of the logic test, is let me just quickly scroll. This one. No, that's not so. Wilfred, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So, Tamara, go back to 8 right now. And forget that.
Yeah, when it goes back.
Then press that function called fx. On the formula bar, there's fx there. On the formula bar, there's fx. Press that function called fx. F na x. Chinzi, try to help.
It's on your screen. The top, that bar.
On top of D.
That's one. Yeah, on top of D.
Oh,
So you couldn't see fx, sure.
no.
So while we are pressing fx, we want to open the function argument box just for you to understand the formula. I did mention to you that on the logic test, there are only 2 things that you get. It's either it's false or true. It's your first argument. By A1 to C and C1. It should only give you false or true. Have you got it?
Yes.
So this and or, it also gives you two things, two possible outcomes. It's either it is true or false, which is part of the logic. Go to B14. So under B14, type January, enter, go back to B14. You see just on the bottom of that cell, yeah, that cap box, the down here, just take your cursor and it gives you, just stop. You have seen that sign, no problem. The cross, what they call the crosshair thing, that's our reference. So when you are there, Tamara, hold it, drag it down. Hold your control, drag it there, continue. I want it to go up to June, continue. Okay, very good. Okay. So now we have January up to June. So here what we want to show an outcome that we want to use the and function to show that if we have months, say for example, January, March, and April, if these months, whatever, it should give you a discount of this, whatever it is. So let's go to D9. Go to D9. Press equals and tab, Control A. So the logic here which we want to find, we are actually saying if the cell, go to cell B14, press B14, press there. If B14 equals, press equals, inverted comma, type January, inverted comma again, should give you true. Go into logical number 2, tab, say, press, if B15, go into B15, equals, inverted comma, type March. If you know, don't type February, type March. I want it to give you false. Tab. Go into
Coach. Hello, coach.
Hello?
It's telling me invalid.
Invalid. You haven't put the inverted commas.
Yes.
Put the inverted commas. We said anything you had called in Excel, you have to do what, Chinzi?
Put inverted commas.
Yes, you have to close it with inverted commas. So go in B17. B17.
Okay.
By the April equals, type April. So before you press enter, you see what it is, because and it means that it's mandatory. Meaning that all the conditions that you have set, they should all give you true, isn't it? If one of the arguments there, it gives you false, then the output, the ultimate result will be false. If you see down there, where it gives you the preview of the result, it has given you what? False. Tamara, you see the false down there. Before, check whether all arguments are true and returns true. If all arguments are true, it has returned the false. Why? Because the logical number 2 is giving you false. So press OK. So type on in E9. Type in E9. Since we are actually, that is all like we're actually looking at the end. Type mandatory. What it means that with and it should be mandatory. When I say Chinzi, Tamara, and Martha will go to the shekel. Chinzi, Tamara, or Tamara or Martha will go to the shekel. What do I mean? You get the logic, isn't it? So the first one is that all the 3 will go to the shekel. The other one, any or among them, they as long as or they can, it's possible that they can all go to the shekel, or they can only be Tamara and Martha who will go to the shekel, or it will be just Martha, or it will be Martha and Chinzi, or it will be all of them. So on and it is mandatory. So any of the variables which gives you false, meaning the ultimate result will be false. Let's go to O in D10. Let's go to D10. D10. Type equals or, we'll do the same thing. Equals or, type or, tab, Control A. So now, start the same thing that we did. Go to B14, equals, type January. Tab, go to B15, equals, March. Tab, go to B17, I think that's what I want to, equals April. You have seen that it's giving you true if you only had a false there. The reason being that you have put or is actually any, it's not mandatory. Any of those that you have actually put the condition, as long as it's met, it will give you true. Press OK. So, type in E10, type optional. So you have seen with the or, we have picked the same arguments. The only difference that and, because it's mandatory, as long as it finds any of the arguments in there which is false, it will give you false as an answer. With this one, as long as it gives you one of the variables is true, it doesn't matter how many false you're going to pick, it's going to give you true. what you'll be learning next will be an issue of now nesting the and, or, and the other component. So what I'll do is that I'll look at those assignments that I've been writing. I'll pick a scenario, just a small portion on the logicals, so that you have to start getting used to these things. We will not rush to go to count if. We'll have to do a number of things here on the if. But we'll use your assignment, part of your assignment questions that she has been giving in those guys the last sitting. So that we get used to this item, so that even when we are doing the assignment, I would want not me coming to doing the assignment for you. I would want you, because you have learned all these places, to do the assignment. Then now we say, Tamara, can you present to us on what you have done on the assignment? You present, then you go to the project, here you should change it to this, here you should change it to that. Don't you think that's the best way to learn?
That's the best way.
So that is what we'll do. So what I'll do, immediately I'll create again a small assignment for you, 5 minutes. What? You brought, you haven't sent, you should send the other one on these things, on the ifs. Then I'll check the assignment that you are writing, where you have the components where it needs the if, so that you will start getting used to that. And I'll post it and show you, okay, this is how until we become very good. Mwambera.
Noted.
So, in the next 1 hour, expect a small assignment on our app. You'll see, I'm sure you have put the notifications such that anything that comes on that app notifies you and you're able to. So if you have friends who would want to come and do assignment, tell them that you will not allow the academy is not going to allow, you will not enroll people who come to the coming to do assignment with us. So then, you know, even in hospitals, Tamara, you know what they do at my government hospitals? When you are at the private hospital, you know the private hospitals, they don't want to have bad key performance indicators. When they realize that you're about to die, you know what they do? They send you to UTH.
Yes.
Then when you go to UTH, even if you go there, you're alive, even for 3-4 hours, you die within that day. Do you know what they'll call you? BID. Because they know that they are not the ones who worked on you. So we don't want BIDs. Tell your friends want to join balance. We don't want BIDs. We consider them as BIDs. So thank you so much. So wait for the next, I think, 30 minutes or so. I create some scenarios so that we can work on these logicals. What time are we meeting tomorrow? And don't go to church. Those who go to church, guys, there is COVID. So we can start tomorrow.
But Kuchito mwenda wakochi. Ero nayo 8 hours. Nayo 8 hours.
So tomorrow morning, what time should we meet your bro? Cheese is flexible, right, cheese?
But not morning. I have some. I attend.
7 hours.
You attend Zoom church?
Yes, in the morning.
You even take it.
Coach,
Yes.
tomorrow I have a class from 8 to... We have dissertation tomorrow.
Okay.
We have dissertation tomorrow.
Coach?
Yeah. You have dissertation tomorrow?
Yes.
From what time to what time?
Up to 15 hours, maybe after 16.
Okay, maybe what we can do.
From 8 to 16 somewhere.
Can we start at 20 so that I give you more time to rest?
Yes, yes, yes.
20 is okay.
Okay. So,
Tamara,
Ati,
go through your timetable.
Ati,
Go through your timetable.
No
I need
problem.
to do that just now.
so you see the assignment